coming to you live from inside, outside, and all around our houses in this COVID-inspired lockdown. This is Calm Down with Mulk and Braden. Join us tonight as we have special guests, musical guests, video of the week, and who knows what else happens when we turn the satellite on. Please give a big hand to our house band, George and the Jetsons. Remember to calm down and welcome your hosts, Mulk and Braden.
Hello, friends. How great is that? We are so technically happening here. My name is Mulk, and I'd like to introduce you to this guy. His name is Braden French. We are Mulk and Braden from Calm Down with Mulk and Braden.
Hey, Mulk, good to see you. Hi, everyone at home.
Braden,
Mate,
look,
it's happening.
it is happening. It's really real. All of the planning, literally minutes of planning has gone into this. So we are very keen to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah.
Braden, what can we expect from the amazingness that is Calm Down with Mulk and Braden?
Cool. Well, look, we're going to be here every Thursday night through April at 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock seemed to work well. We're going to have guests every week. We're going to have a musical guest to finish the show with a bit of talent. Save the talent till the end. We're an interactive show. So, friends, as you're tuning in, you can say good day, give a shout out in the comments,
Just like this.
Just like Christy Morgan has over there. And later in the show, we're going to feature a few of those. And then at the end of April, the best comment wins a Jurassic Park T-shirt.
A giveaway, Braden, already.
I know. We thought we should hold that back, but I was too excited. We're going to give away one of my old Jurassic Park T-shirts that I famously wore to Easter Camp 2018.
So much history.
Yeah, yep. It's a classic.
That's fabulous, Braden. There's heaps going on tonight, as you said.
Yep.
We've got a special guest. We've got some live music. We've got our favorite videos of the week, and we've even spent some of the budget. Are you ready for this? We spent budget that I haven't quite yet got cleared on a satellite live cross.
Oh, awesome! You said that would be too expensive.
Well, I did, and then I found out just how expensive it was and said, well, I've got 30 days before I have to put that on the credit card expense sheet. Yes. Let's see what happens. So I think what we need to do, Brian, is I've got confirmation from our techs. We're ready to go. So let's have a look. Let's see if we can bring our live in. Here we go. This is our live correspondent, Luke. What is happening? Luke, can you hear us?
Hi, Mulk and Braden.
Yes, there he is.
Oh, no.
Oh, what?
Oh, that's disappointing. We'll see if we can get that back up and running later in the show.
Best do that.
It can't have been very much budget.
Was it one of those PayPal things where like you pay, but then it takes a day?
Yeah, that's right. There's some clearance. It had to go through Wuhan. Controversial already.
If you're not too early, you're too late. So yeah,
that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Look, friends, we know that things are crazy right now. The nature of the coronavirus has meant that we're stuck at home, and this is basically a fever dream. If you are watching this, you can be guaranteed you've probably got coronavirus because you're seeing us thinking that we're entertaining. Now, a good big thumbs up from Braden. What we probably need to do right now, though, is make sure that we bring in our guest, Braden, because if we don't do that, it's just going to be us talking for a long time, and that's really dull.
Yeah, sure. Okay, well, Mulk, you press the buttons, and
I will do that.
My pleasure to introduce our first legitimate guest, who responded thankfully to an invitation. Carlynne, you're live.
Oh, look out.
Carlynne.
Hi,
Carlynne. Carlynne, welcome to Calm Down. How are you?
I'm great. I'm very calm, obviously.
Excellent. Great. Carlynne, our first guest, the technology is working so far.
So great.
The honor is almost too great to speak of, to be frank.
Mm.
Yeah, no, Frank's next week.
Lol.
Oh, look, I'm setting an early benchmark. Carlynne, who are you? Who are you?
I'm okay. Did you say who am I?
Yeah,
How am I?
just like in the run sheet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. That I haven't seen. I'm Carlynne. I'm a reverend in a little cluster of churches in country Victoria. I live near Ballarat. And I am a fan of sandwiches and dancing and my dog Joan, amongst many other things.
Marvelous.
Fantastic. Now, we've used COVID-19 as an excuse to, jump into people's phones or laptops.
Sure.
But what's the impact been on you so far? Like, what have you noticed other than like you can't go outside?
Yeah, it's interesting because in one way it's changed a lot of stuff because I'm a minister, which means that a couple of weeks ago I had to suddenly figure out how to help people engage in worship in a dispersed fashion.
Yeah.
So many of my minister friends have also had to do. And so that's been very strange, but also quite cool because I like a challenge and I like thinking about new ways of doing things. But also, it's not changed all that much. I moved to a country town a year ago, and so I don't go out a lot anyway. So, to be honest, it's more of the same in a lot of
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And last question. What are you doing to calm down?
Good question. Not quite enough at the moment. I've just decided that over the weekend I'm going to have a few days away from Facebook because it's a time suck and a lot of stuff there is not necessarily always helpful. I have been doing a daily, just asking my friends a daily question, trying to start a conversation that's not about coronavirus every day. They'll have to just fend for themselves for the next couple of days, which I'm sure will be fine. I took a solitary bath the other day, just one bath. That was nice. I'm trying to make time to pray and I'm trying to not put too much pressure on myself, which can go the other way because I can get really relaxed and be like, I don't have to do anything because I'm supposed to be kind to myself. But yeah, a combination of trying to think about other stuff, trying to connect with people who I love. I've got like 4 virtual dates lined up with friends next week. So,
No need to show off. That's all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And just a big hi.
Sorry?
A big hi to all of our Facebook friends who are watching this. In the big time suck, I think that's the subtitle of this show.
The big time suck.
Yeah.
Now, that's great, Carlynne. Thank you. And I mean, that's part of what we're doing. We're trying to just offer people half an hour to chill.
Yeah.
But also what we're going to do each week is we're going to actually look ahead to what churches will be hearing from the Bible if they follow, the lectionary. But this week is Palm Sunday. Palm Sunday.
The whole day.
And since you're a minister, you're over there now. Since you're a minister, we thought you could hang around and give us, the elevator pitch on what's going on. Yeah. Maybe a tease for the Bungendore sermon. What do you reckon?
Bungendore?
Bungendore?
Is that a medieval town?
What? Booganberry? Where do you live?
I wish I lived in Booganberry. I live in Buninyong.
So close. South of Ballarat.
It's more likely to be an ad for the By the Well podcast, which is where I get my information from now.
Fantastic. Okay, here we go. Matthew 21 for those playing along at home.
Great, let's do this.
Now you can see. Now, as they were approaching Jerusalem, did we get copyright clearance on Bible readings?
We're just going to say that it's a part of the glorious work of God and that if he doesn't want us to read the Bible aloud,
or she,
he can strike us down. That's correct.
Great. Some people are saying there's audio issues. Just try refreshing the browser or pressing the unmute button.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, as they were approaching Jerusalem, they arrived at the place of stables near the Mount of Olives. Jesus sent 2 of his disciples ahead, saying, as you enter the town, you'll find a donkey tethered along with her young colt. Untie them both and bring them to me. If anyone stops you and asks, what are you doing? Just tell them the Lord of all needs them, and he will let you take them. All this happened to fulfill a prophecy that said, tell Zion's daughter, look, your king arrives. He's coming to you full of gentleness, sitting on a donkey, riding on a donkey's colt. So those two disciples went on ahead and did just as Jesus had instructed them. They brought the donkey and her colt to him, placed their coats and prayer shawls on the colt, and Jesus rode on it. Then an exceptionally large crowd gathered and carpeted the road before him with their cloaks and prayer shawls. Others cut down branches from trees to spread in his path. Jesus rode in the center of the procession, crowds going before him and crowds coming behind him, and they all shouted, "Bring the victory, Lord, Son of David. He comes with the blessings of being sent from the Lord Yahweh. We celebrate with praises to God in the highest." As Jesus entered Jerusalem, the people went wild with excitement. The entire city was thrown into an uproar. Some asked, "Who is this man?" And the crowd shouted back, "This is Jesus. He's the prophet from Nazareth of Galilee."
Thanks, Braden.
So,
That was top notch, Braden.
hey, I didn't write it.
What translation are you reading from?
That's the Passion Translation, which we decided to use to keep things light, keep people on their toes.
Accessible, I think is the word we're searching for.
What?
Accessible. We're trying to be accessible.
Thank you, Zondervan. Carlynne, what do you reckon? What's going on? What might we hear in there to speak to our reality today?
Well, yeah, good question, and obviously a pretty important question for any time you read the Bible, and certainly if you're going to preach from it. I have a few thoughts. Thought number one, as someone commented in our little comment stream here, donkey surfing. Matthew has Jesus riding on two animals, a donkey or a young colt, and that's quite a funny image if you think about it. But also, it's sort of it means that we should always be wary of taking these passages literally, too literally, and be aware that Matthew is trying to make a really solid point because it harkens back to one of the prophetic books. Maybe Zechariah? Who cares?
Is it in the front?
Say it again.
It's in the front of the Bible. So
Yeah, in the fronty bits, but not
the Book of Moses.
The front bits. Not the Book of Moses.
Okay.
No, that one's.
This is why we've got you on.
Right.
I know essentially everything. So you've come to the right. So anyway, Matthew is interested, as always, in saying Jesus is the King. Jesus is the King, and we know this because he's even fulfilling all the prophecies point by point, which the prophecy obviously says.
Picking them off.
Yeah. So he's the King. Another thing that I was thinking about this week is I'm tempted when I read this passage, and I have been before when I've preached on it, to talk about the contrast between the crowd now and the fact that we know very soon they're going to turn. And when Jesus is in Jerusalem and goes to the cross, they're not so happy to see him. And I find that quite interesting. But because of something I read and because of the way that I think we're all sitting at the moment, I'm more tempted to sit with the sort of anticipation of the King is coming, the excitement of that, and to ask people, how do you think you would have responded?
Yeah.
What does Jesus coming to be exalted at Easter mean to you now, not worrying for a moment about the fact that this particular crowd and perhaps all of us would have turned on Jesus later. And of course, remembering that the exaltation that Jesus is coming to is really not exaltation. It's shame and humiliation in a horrible death on an instrument of torture. So what we have here is a king who is intent on doing things a very different way. And I think that is also a really good question for people. What kingdom are you living in at the moment and ever? Is it the one that the world wants you to live in, or is it the one that turns things on their head and lifts the least and the poor and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Someone has just said, yes, it is a Zechariah prophecy. George, I do trust you implicitly.
Yep.
So thank you.
No, I know George, and I do trust him. Yeah, for sure.
He's got
in my mind, it's also an image of how people will react when Betty White re-emerges from isolation, there'll just be this sort of triumphal parade. She survived! Like, I just laying down prayer shawls and stuff. I couldn't think of anyone else that we would, like, as a whole world.
How about how the world held its breath when Tom Hanks got COVID?
Yeah, that's right. Tom Hanks got a sniffle and we all lost it.
So you know what this means, though, is that Tom Hanks and his wife are now cure point 0. So we should be harvesting their blood because they've gone through coronavirus.
I've always said that.
And we can all have a little bit of Hanks and Wilson in us.
Perfect.
Carlynne,
on that note, thank you so much for joining us on the show and for, helping us calm down, but also to look ahead, to ground ourselves. So thank you. Well, if we're ever out in Bungendore, in Bob and Barry, Bungendore, house of we'll be sure to say good day.
Before we kick you out, Carlynne, is there anything that you want to plug? Do you want to tell people about things they can come and look at, learn more about you, or partake in the glory that is Carlynne?
The glory that is Carlynne. Well, not necessarily that. I do. My church has a Facebook page if anyone's interested in checking out the way that we are doing things online. That's just Ballarat South. Church.org.au.
Right.
I'm not.
Doesn't sound like a Facebook page.
I just swore as well. It's just about. Sorry, I got confused whether I was talking about the website or not.
Take it out in post.
Ballarat South Funny Church. Whatever.
Great.
It's not live. Don't worry.
That's right. We are Generation Xing the crap out of this.
Yeah. Look, if you're really nervous, you can.
I'm not.
Drop it in the comments.
I've been necking Jose this whole time.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Carlynne Nunn, we're going to kick you out. We're going to keep moving. Thank you so much for joining us here on Calm Down.
Thanks for having me. Calm down.
Calm down.
How lovely is Carlynne?
She's lovely. And we are motoring through this show, mate.
Absolutely powering, Braden.
Hey, do you want to check that connection to Luke?
Yeah, let's see if Luke is still there. I've looked.
Can we fire that up?
The texts have told us. Yep, he's doing. Luke, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Right.
G'day, Luke.
What's happening?
Great. Hi, Malk and Brett.
Oh no.
Oh.
No, we've still got technical problems.
Is that our end or his end?
Look, I'm pretty sure it's both ends.
Oh.
A lot like the coronavirus. Braden, we'll come back to Luke. We'll see. We should be able to find him.
I'll send Ida a text message.
Yeah, can you? That would be great.
Yeah.
As we move into, you ready for this? I had pre-prepared titles for the opener, but I have nothing for this. So this is a video of the week. Week.
Awesome.
Now, what all this is, friends, and we're happy to take your suggestions. So episodes, we'd love to get your favorite video of the week. Braden and I have found ours, but if you want to add it to the comments, we might be able to point people at it, for later times. I'd just quickly like to say that my friend Warwick tuned in and he enjoyed the Wuhan joke, and that makes me feel great. So thank you very much, Warwick. It's great to have you. And that's all you have to do. Just comment, and we can include you.
And a chance to win a T-shirt at the end of April.
To win a T-shirt. And so far, Warwick's winning.
Would we count Christie's comment at the beginning or not? Just a demo.
I mean, that's lovely. That's a great thing. But she didn't actually engage in the content.
Correct.
So you've got to engage. You've got to be a part of the process.
That's fair.
So far, Warwick is winning Braden's Jurassic Park T-shirt.
Yep.
Add better comments. Get involved.
Now,
what we need to do is...
Am I first?
Yes. Can you set up your video that you found, Braden?
Okay, great. While you madly make the internet work. Friends, my video comes from the United States of America, and it is a live feed of a White House lawn address on the coronavirus pandemic. So the leader of the free world about to address people via a press conference. Can we tune in?
Let's hear from President Donald Trump.
A friend of mine, Mike Lindell, of My Pillow. Boy, do you sell those pillows? That's unbelievable what you do. I'd like you to come up and say a couple of words, if you might, about your companies. Mike, come on up. Come on up, fellas, please.
Come on up, Mike.
Come on up.
Mike.
You have to say what you're doing because it's been really incredible. Go ahead, Mike.
Here's Mike.
Okay, well, My Pillow is a U.S. vertically integrated company which has been forced to adjust to the changing business environment as a result of the pandemic. Now I wrote something off the cuff, if I can read this. Okay. God gave us grace on November 8, 2016.
Yes,
and I
did.
encourage you to use this time at home to get back in the Word, read our Bibles, and spend time with our families.
Okay, so thank you. We'll cut it there. I had to cut that down, but a presidential press conference where
That's insane.
Old mate Trump invites his buddy up who sells pillows, and he talks about their business policy, and then at the end goes ad lib, says that President Trump is a miracle from God, and if we've learned anything
of grace, Braden,
we should just stay at home and read our Bibles. Now, we just read our Bibles as part of this show, but just it blew my mind, Mulk. For like 48 hours, hashtag #MyPillow was trending #1 in America, just on Twitter. Like, it's just unbelievable rubbish. And I could have chosen any of 100 different press conferences, but that was my video of the week for sure.
Are we going to see more Donald Trump in your favorite video of the week, or are we? I hope not.
I want to add some diversity. We've got 5 shows. We'll see.
Okay, let's see what we can spin up
for the finale.
My favorite video of the week, Braden, came from the very awesome John Krasinski. So the man who played, the eponymous role, Jim in The Office, the American version of The Office. This is what he looks like if I can get this to go properly. There we go. That's our man. Yep. And look, the cool thing about John Krasinski is he's also Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime, and he's a big Hollywood Amazon Ryan. He's a big Hollywood film director, and he, like the rest of us, choosing to isolate at home, and he decided that he would start up his own news network, Braden, called Some Good News, as in he wanted to find some good news. And it is a brilliant video. I will have to get the show notes up there later. I'll put the link to the whole thing. But what I wanted to show you was in the middle of Some Good News, he crossed to a very dear friend. Let's hear from John.
And on a personal note, this week actually brought a whole lot of good news because it marked 15 years since this haircut was born. That's right, it was the 15th anniversary of The Office, and for more on that story, we go now to our entertainment correspondent, Steve Carell. Steve! Is this working? Thank God for Nancy. I literally just saw Nancy, like your mom, be like, hold on, let me Welcome to this highly produced show.
I like your sign.
Thank you very much. My daughters did it, by the way. So
beautiful. This will be the graphic at the bottom of this.
Perfect. I love it. We're both looking dapper. This is how I am 24/7.
I guarantee you that the bottom half of what you have on does not match the top.
I am definitely wearing jams, if anybody remembers. If anybody remembers what those are. Oh my God.
So, Braden, that's a pretty great clip, a great indication. And he goes on to have a much deeper conversation with Steve Carell about how fun it was making The Office and those sorts of things. It is a highlight because it is some good news. He also has a great conversation with a young cancer patient who was coming home after her final chemotherapy treatment. And because of, everyone trying to keep their distance and stuff, they formed a guard of honor, not unlike the triumphal entry, down her street, and were sort of waving and clapping and they'd made placards and all sorts of stuff. Very cool. Some good news from John Krasinski. I commend it to you.
Yeah, great. Excellent. SGN, it's all over. It's trending globally. Up there with Dalgona coffee.
Oh, don't even. So I need to remind people, for those that are just tuning in, we are giving away, Braden dropped it earlier, he is giving away one of his old Jurassic Park t-shirts. Now, this is a collector's item.
Yep.
You want to get it. And the only way that you can get it is at the end of our 5-week run to be deemed to have had the best comment that we show on screen. So as an example, this won't be counted, Nina, I'm sorry. But Nina Evans popped up and said, just tuned in. What's this free t-shirt all about?
Well, I mean, I'll give Nina a free t-shirt regardless. She's a lovely woman. But
Nina.
But not the Jurassic Park one. That's the prize.
That's a very special one. So we want you to put your comments in. We will show them on screen.
And we'll suck them up.
And from that, we will determine who is going to be the winner of the T-shirt. Look, I'm going to say we need to throw Anthony Ashton in here. He does ask a very serious question. Braden, have you guys got toilet paper?
Yeah, my 6 monthly delivery of Who Gives a Crap toilet paper arrived just the other week. So I am just
making it rain.
I'm sleeping on it, man. I got heaps. Sometimes I'm even using 2 pieces. Like I am just going to town.
Look at you, Mr. Richie Rich.
Oh, I know. Pay stab and the big bucks working for the church.
Well, that's as it should be. Braden, some breaking news. We're just going to try and get this one more time. I have heard from the Boffins. They've managed to get the link to Luke working.
Someone's going to buy either a phone, by the way. The text didn't work.
Yeah, let's see if we can get this in. There he is. Luke. Right, can you hear us? Great, Luke, we are ready.
Yep.
Let's go.
Over to you, mate.
Hi, Malk and Brady.
Oh, no.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, this is...
It makes us look so amateur. Oh, mate. Oh, well. Look, it doesn't matter.
I will see if we can get some more of Luke for next week. He is a special correspondent here at CalmDown.
Yeah,
and we know he's got heaps to tell us, way more than we've heard from him tonight.
Look, and we are trying hard. We are madly working behind the scenes here to get that up and running. Beg your patience.
We've got like hamsters pedaling under the desk just to keep this whole system
running. Yeah, for sure. Look, I think it's time, Mulk.
Definitely.
It's time to wheel in some talent.
Yes.
Here at CalmDown every week, we're going to have a musical guest or some sort of artist on. Yep. And Mulk, why don't you introduce this week's guest?
I'm going to introduce this week's guest. Look, you might know her as the mild-mannered worker as a part of Sydney Presbytery of the Uniting Church here in New South Wales ACT Synod. I am going to tell you she is much more than that. A supremely talented singer, musician, and she's making noise right now. Friends, please welcome to CalmDown, Tash Holmes.
Hey!
Yay! How good is technology?
Hello. It's amazing.
Tash, give us a bit more hype than that. Come on. Jeez. All right.
We'll go for the thing. Tash, as I said in the intro, you work for the church, but you're also a musician and singer of some note. How do you manage to juggle that in your day-to-day life?
Good question. Gosh, sometimes it's very difficult, but usually in the evenings, try to do some writing on the weekends, try to make time to get away and get inspired. And but it's not easy. We have to be disciplined.
Yeah, well, you don't have to go far now to be inspired. You can sit at home and have all this inspiration flood over you as we are surrounded by people not going anywhere.
Exactly. Well, usually all my gear is in the back of my car, but because I'm at home and isolated, I've brought it all in here. So it's all around the dining table at the moment. So I can pick up the guitar and have a sing and have a write in my breaks.
Sure, because you are a hard worker.
Oh yeah, we're all working real hard.
40-something hour a week work week.
Yes.
You don't want to cast aspersions to suggest that Tash is sitting there and absolutely binge watching episodes of Keeping Up with the Kardashians or nailed it. But Tash does good.
No, it was a secret.
Don't worry, no one's watching. You're fine.
Totally safe.
All right.
That's what I've learned earlier. So, Tash, you're going to perform a song for us tonight. What are you playing? What are you singing?
Well, I thought I might pick a little tune from The Lion King. Called He Lives in You.
Okay.
Which is
nice.
Not the Circle of Life. I don't have all the animals. I can't pull that one off.
Anyway,
could you imagine?
No,
I just invited a huge choir over just to sing in the background.
I'm going to try my very best not to join in backing vocals.
It's a song called He Lives in You, which I just love it. And I think it might provide a little bit of hope at the moment. It's an inspiring song.
Right. Well, this is going to be awesome, Tash. We're so glad that you could join us. Friends.
Thank you for having me.
This is the very first episode of CalmDown. We are glad that you managed to tune in. We're going to be back next Thursday night at 8 o'clock. We're going to go out with Tash, so don't think that we're wrapping up now and just sort of teasing this musical act. Braden and I are going to get out of the way. Braden, have you got a special message for everyone while they are staying calm?
Stay calm. Stay positive. Stay away from everyone else. And I love you all.
Don't forget to order your My Pillow. I think that's
Yes.
probably the important one. Braden, thank you for coming in. Tash,
Thanks,
it's
Mark.
marvelous
Thanks, Tash.
to have you as a part of this with us. Friends, join us next week from 8 o'clock on the Eastern Coast time on Facebook for CalmDown. We're going to finish up tonight, and this is the amazing Tash Holmes.
Night and the spirit of life calling, oh, 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 oh. And the voice with the fear of a child answers, oh, 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 oh. But wait, there's no mountain too great. Hear these words and have faith. Whoa. Have faith. Hela in the middle. 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 He lives in you. He lives in me. She watches over everything we see. Into the water, into the truth, and your reflection. He lives in you. Oh, oh, oh. He lives in you. Oh, oh. So wait, there's no mountain too great. Hear these words and have faith. Whoa, have faith.